Om Shanti. So welcome all of you to the Values Workshop number 45. Today exclusively on care or concern. And before we begin, we'll spend a few moments reflecting in silence. What is it to really take care of self? And ask yourself this question: am I really taking good care of myself the way I should be? And am I really concerned about my self-progress? I'm sure the answer is yes. But another point to check and change maybe is, am I really satisfied or contented with my self-care? And am I progressing the way I should be? So from today's workshop, let's try to explore these few things about care, and let's invoke the presence of the Divine, the Supreme Being, for the workshop. So with these beautiful thoughts to explore about today's workshop, let me just go to the next slide. As you have been seeing that we have been doing this since almost quarter to 2 years now, and many of you have been a regular participant for all these workshops. Thank you so much for being there and also enjoying the various exercises. And today we do on care or concern. So I won't be stop sharing, and I'd make a new share, and I would welcome all the facilitators. Sister Anu all the way from Canada West Coast. Then we have Sister Shruti also joining from the West Coast of US. Sister Pooja, who joins from the central part of India, Nagpur. And also a very senior brother, Dr. Ashok Mehta. So welcome all of you. And before we begin, it's almost 5 minutes across the time. We have almost around 55 participants. So let me just share the icebreaker video for all of you. I would request all of you all to carefully see this. It's a very brief, just 1 minute 15 seconds video. Again, it has no audio in it. I mean, there's no speaking in that. No one is speaking. Only visuals can be seen, though there'll be music in the background as well, no doubt. And let us see what is the insight which you all gain from this. So I'll just share that. And I hope it is visible now on the screen. If it isn't, let me know if it's otherwise. I'll just play the video. So again, all of you are requested a very brief video. Please look at it very carefully and explore about what insights related to self-care you get from this video. So there we go. So I'm sure all of you have seen this, and please can you start sharing your insights, but please do it in the chat box so that it will be brief but very effective and powerful. Okay, let me read. Still not yet. Except for the facilitators and a few participants, all of you have shut your videos. Okay, so we don't know whether you all are there around or not. Anyone wants to share orally, it's fine because no one is doing in the chat box. Sister Veena or Sister Rehna wants to share anything? Because I can see you in the video. Okay.
Thoughts can make us or break us.
Thoughts can manifest and make or break. Melanie is saying lack of spirituality. Okay. And what was that thing the person was really feeling awful about self? And then something from the top came. What was that? Okay, good, Melanie. Thank you, God. Someone is saying Portuguese interpreter manual. I think brother is saying do not lose hope. Great. Harpreet sister, take time for yourself to recharge daily. Wonderful. Okay. Sarita sister from UK, that just a drop can change your life. And I think it was coming from, it was a mouth shown, lips and tongue. So it was probably something related to knowledge, someone speaking, so God speaking. Balwinder says anxious, feeling down, and inferiority complex and self-sabotage. Yeah, true. So that was before that person speaking, before that God entity speaking. Human negativity, starting may check. Okay, so in Hindi it is saying, Anju sister is saying that you need to check that whether you have negativity in yourself, and then remembering God, you can become Maya proof. Wow. So we can explore what is Maya in detail later. Right. Okay, so you all got a gist of what that video was saying. And we okay, Balwinder sister, thank you so much. You're saying you're really sharing your personal thing, that she was this girl until I found God. I guess that's what it is that you means. Okay. Right, so a small video, a visual of just 1.5 minute can really uh, tickle inside and force us to think, what are we really taking care of ourselves? So I think with this my time is up, and I would someone has written one more thing, let me just check. Okay, so oh yeah, thank you Balwinder sister, we are all very happy to see that you are acknowledging all of us, and thank you, really these workshops have helped all of you all, help us also immensely when we prepare all the stuff for that. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the first exercise. Over to you, Anu sister. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Manoj. Very nice start. Very, I think, insightful. And we got that. The audience got that. What is self-care and what is not, and how the care is all around us. If we can see that, look up. So let's move on. We'll dive into physically, actually, how do you take care of yourself? Because care, like Brother Manoj said, the concern has to be, am I progressing? Am I staying in my truth? That is positivity, kindness, compassion, or not? And that has to be expressed for others. So that is caring for others. So I should be concerned if I'm able to care for others. But to be able to care for others, I have to care for myself. So, what are the different aspects of our life that we take care, and how do we take care? So, let's start with that. So, reflect how you take care of yourself related to these few aspects, 5 aspects, as you can see: physical, the physical body; How do you take care of it? Your emotional health, your social interactions, your environment where you live, around your home surrounding, how do you keep it, and your spiritual. Like Sister Harpreet said, that we have to take time to recharge. So that is the connect with the divine. So how do you take care of all these 5 aspects in your life every day? So let's reflect on that. We'll take about minutes, and then we will really welcome you. When we share, we learn from each other. We'll take tips from others' sharings. Let's take 2 minutes to reflect on these self-care aspects. So I hope you all have written the 5 category, create on your note page, and write it. How do you take care of your physical aspects, your emotional, social, environmental, and spiritual on a regular basis? So I hope it was a very insightful reflection for yourself. Is anybody wanting to share? Yeah, chat box is good, but we would like you to unmute and share, please, if you can. So maybe we can start with Balwinder. All the 5.
Om Shanti, everyone. Thank you. Spiritually, I do listen to Murli every day, and I do meditation. Physically, I do exercise, walking or going to gym. Emotionally, I was not able to manage a traffic control system, but I keep a constant watch. Sometimes it is frustrating. If I'm feeling down, I try my best to change to positive. Socially, I interact with my family on a positive basis. Environmentally, I keep my surrounding neat and clean. Socially, every Saturday, I have to sometime, it's a responsibility at home as well as outside. But my family sometimes is not cooperating when I am with you, when I'm taking these classes. So I have learned how to ignore them because this class is most important for me. Thank you.
That's so beautiful sharing. Thank you, Balvinder. Knowing that what empowers you emotionally, and maybe ignoring may not be a very good thing to say or word, but yeah, caring for the self, and you can go back to your family after this. So that's really nice. So yeah, take it with you and check how you take care of yourself. So maybe I'll read very quickly. Pooja, sister says, physical, walk daily. Emotional, don't take things too personally. Social, spend time with friends and family. Environmental, keep surroundings clean and tidy. Spiritual, remember God every day and have an attitude of gratitude. So this is how we can, like, the whole well-being of us we can feel, but we should be doing it. Brother Manoj says, emotional, particularly taking care not to be demotivated by others' comments. That's what I saw in the video as well. So people can have 100 different opinions about me. I meet 10 people, 10 people will have different ideas or understanding about me. Should I worry about that or lose my emotional power? Social, finding time for family, and spiritual, drinking the nectar of knowledge daily. Thank you. Richpal brother says exercise for physical, that is walking, detachment for emotional, and understanding and acceptance. Number 3 is understanding and acceptance. Number 4 is breathe with nature. Number 5, meditation. So from Portuguese, the translator brother says, number 1, pure food for physical health. Number 2, good thoughts, that's emotional. Number 3, be as loving as possible. Number 4, vibrate mental peace. So be as loving as possible, that's social. Vibrate mental peace, that's your environment. Take care of that with that. And number 5, follow God's teachings and study what God wants me to do. Have you ever thought what God would like me to do? Whatever I'm doing, is it something God would approve? Sarita from UK says emotional, I ground myself. Environmental, I'm clean from the inside. And social, find time for my spiritual family. Vidhi says stay fit, exercise regularly, physical. So there's so many on the chat box. Anyone? Yes, Harpreet sister, you want to share, please?
Yes. Yes, Om Shanti, everybody. Physically, I would say is the daily movement and stretching, exercise, and yoga. That is for me. And emotionally, daily study, listening, and reading only positive. And socially, is staying connected with the like-minded people. So giving and sharing, and at the same time learning. Environmentally, I'm using the 5 elements wisely and keeping it clean and tidy where I live and wherever I go. And spiritually, of course, is daily connecting with the source, with the yoga and study. Both aspects are important. We need to be focused on all 4, but those are the starting one for everybody. And gratitude. Gratitude for me is a big thing to have more in life.
Thank you so much. Yes, whoever knows Sister Harpreet, they will definitely agree. They share so much joy. And I think the basis is taking care of these 5 things as she expressed on daily basis. She really shares happiness through her presence. Thank you, sister. Anyone else who would like to share? So Rihanna says, physical, don't let any seemingly small physical issue escalate. So don't take it easy. Check, take care. We say body speaks. So listen to your body. I think enough rest, sleep is also important. Emotional, allow only positive emotions. Social, sincere, appreciation. Environmental, hygiene. Spiritual, regular knowledge and meditation. Physical, walking. Vidhi says, be kind to yourself, stay connected with family and friends, gratitude for nature, God as my companion. Yes. So it's time. We are getting there. That's a very good churning. I'm sure we all got it. So let's move deeper into this self-care and concern about the self, deeper into it. So maybe Sister Pooja, you can share what you have. So as we all can relate to, there are these 5 aspects. Check what may draw your attention to. You can write it down if you missed. So physical, walk daily, exercise, pure food, take care of health. Exercise is winning, right? So walking, so making some time to physical activity every day. Emotional, don't take personally, don't get demotivated.
I think we have lost Anu's sister, right? Pooja Ben?
Yeah, she's here, but I think she's muted for some reason.
Yeah, because she's becoming the host and something like that.
That's the internet.
Actually, I think now we have to look at even the translation and everything. I don't know. The Zoom stopped for a moment. So let's look at it, but let's wind up this and I'll look at the breakout room.
Good. So thank you so much all of sharings. And I think there's some creaky noise. I don't know where it's coming from. I think
So
it's
everyone,
thanks.
kindly mute yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so as all of you have seen that the sharings were pretty common. All of us know this. If you look at it 100%, 20% is each one of these. And we know how to take care of ourselves in all these 5 aspects. But somehow I feel that all of us will do agree that spiritual care takes a little bit of backseat. And very closely related to that is emotional care as well, because we sometimes get carried away by people's comments, people's behaviors, so many things in life. So that takes a backseat. So let us just go into a different mode now, a little bit of visualization for the next week and meditative mode, so that it will help you for preparing for the action planning, the exercise which Sister Shruti will take you in the depths of. So I'll just share the screen and let's see what we can do. So I would request all of you all to sit back straight, relax your body, and I'll be giving you a few thoughts and we can reflect on those. So relax your body, take a few deep breaths in and out. And as your body starts relaxing, your mind too becomes more and more calm. And in such a calm state of mind, let me tell myself, I am a pure being of light. I am a complete being. I am full of virtues and powers which are basically my innate nature. But I have forgotten them over the past few years. Coming into interaction with people and in challenging situations, I tend to lose my original identity. The being that I am, all the virtues and powers which I possess within myself, That's my original truth and my nature. And also at this point of time, let me visualize God, the supreme being, the supreme energy, who is the ocean of all these virtues and powers. And the moment I connect to that supreme energy, I start filling up myself again with all of them. And as I keep myself full with those virtues and powers, I start overflowing and radiate them in my interactions with others. I no more feel depressed or low because I know who I am, the true essence of my being. And I am ready to respect myself for what I am and radiate these virtues and powers in my interactions with others, because I am God's child. I am the Master Almighty Authority. And with God's help and support, nothing is impossible for me. So, having filled myself with these beautiful words of what we call Swaman or self-respect, let us see what we can do with these aspects of self-respect which we have ignited in ourselves, and how can we translate them into action planning further for the week coming ahead. So with this, I'll pass it on to Sister Shruti. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. So even as I start sharing my screen, there's been a lot that we have discussed, a lot that we've talked about since the start of this workshop. And just like we saw even in the first exercise, we understand what is self-care. We know what we need. We may forget about it sometimes, or we may think that something else is more important than that. But we do need to, the moment we neglect ourselves is when some balance or some harmony is lost. So in the next portion of the workshop, what we will do is spend a minute or so, or maybe a couple of minutes, to really think about what is it that you can do to make sure that you don't lose that balance, you don't lose that harmony. Everything that we discussed today, everything that was salient and has been, everything that has been lost and brought to surface, and everything that's now salient in your minds, how can you make sure that you actually adopt it and make sure that you follow through in the next week? So for example, a lot of us talked about regular exercise and walking. Yet something happens in the day and that becomes the lowest priority. So can I set an alarm for myself? Can I do something? Can I block my calendar? Can I have a working meeting or a walking meeting? Things like that. So think of things that apply to you, that are very practical, that are very hands-on, something that can help you first take care of yourself so that you can demonstrate care for others. If you are healthy, you will take care of others better. If you are in a in a good mental state, you'll be able to take care of your family better. So, like I said, a minute or two, practical, hands-on things that you can adopt that are personal to you. And with that, we can open up the floor and the chat box for discussion. So we already have chat box coming in. Manoj Bhai says to be more, he will be more patient with his patients. Very nice. Puja says meditate daily so I can listen when others need to share. Manuel, our brother, is talking about being attentive when listening to others. Arjuna Bhai saying with courtesy and regard, empathy, good manners, giving time, attention, understanding, compassion, care. Lots of things over there, very beautiful. Would anybody like to unmute? Again, we learn from each other, so. Would anybody like to unmute? I know it's early here on the West Coast, but I thought it was evening and afternoon in Europe. We're still struggling with our cups of coffee, but hopefully others can start to unmute. Hi, Sister Harpreet. Yeah, go ahead. I think you need to unmute. Aren't you able to unmute? Oh, I think we're not, participants aren't being able to unmute themselves.
Sure, they can now.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say is really having the routine of getting up early is when we have that is then we can give that is nothing is that time is happening. So basically is for me is a 4 to 9 is that's my particular time is to that's where I tell myself. So the spiritual time is definitely the study and the meditation I start with. and then definitely with the physical, and you want to do the exercise first thing in the morning, otherwise never gets done. So that's my schedule, is getting done first thing in the morning. So then definitely is taking care of your sleep and food. It's not physical, you only need exercise. We need to take care of all areas how we can be healthy. So that's how I do it. And reminding myself is how important that is when you're taking care of others. If I'm not filled, as how can I take care of them? So keep reminding yourself, I need to do that for myself. So that's what helped me, is to be keeping that patience and listening to the self, what needed, when needed. So when is the body need a rest, so taking that rest. When body needs food, then taking that time is having that healthy food. So just the awareness, I would say more the awareness is going within what we needed right now.
Very nice. I think 3 points: early morning, awareness, and I think just listening to your body. Very, very nice. And that includes healthy food or whatever the need, or sleep, whatever the need is at that time. And I see a lot of text messages coming in, but I still want to give an opportunity for anybody to unmute and speak. Not, let's start looking at some of the chat messages. I see something on focus on time management. Yes, please go ahead. I see somebody's hands raised.
Yeah, Om Shanti.
Yes.
I say that my intention is only service in the next coming week, whatever I do. And my attitude will be very, very kind in speaking to everyone in my house and with others. And I will use definitely patience in listening to everyone. And most important, I will say, okay, done to anything, to anybody, to any situations without any other thought.
Very
So
nice.
this, I want to take it as a oath, and I want to practice this.
Very nice. Just treating every situation as service. I think that's just so powerful. And then that encompasses so much more: listening, patience, speech, everything. Very nice. I'd seen one more hand before I go back to some of the chat messages. Okay. So let me go back. I see Sudhir Bhai saying connect with the vital force and vitality will come. Vijay Bhai is saying first we need to take care of the self and then give good wishes to all with forgiving vibrations. I think forgiveness is a big thing. And the vibrations of love, peace, happiness, and bliss. Again, a lot there, but a lot to unpack. But yes, taking care of self and forgiveness is huge. Manjeet saying, share and connect with others the virtues, understanding the various situations and listening to others, having patience and learning from others. Again, just so important, right? It seems listening is a key thing, and patience and learning from others. Again, very powerful and certainly something we can all practice. Daniel, brother's talking about meditating for the whole world. That is so true too. Just the universal brotherhood. I have another one saying, retaining my inner peace with regular meditation and filling the self with God's love, sharing kindness, respect, and positivity with others. So again, a lot to unpack, but regular meditation, which helps find inner peace, and then being kind, respectful, positive. Very nice. Gita sister is talking, but he is speaking to me because I understand him the best. I need to respect his feelings. So that's again very true. Really, this goes back to again that listening. The person is talking to you, and can you understand and respect the feelings? Some really powerful thoughts and ideas there. Would anybody else like to speak? We still have a couple more minutes before we can start winding up. If If not, I can hand it back to you.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Dr. Mehta wants to speak
Oh,
something.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
I was thinking of being especially those who work with you, those who are very, especially those who work under you or with you.
Yeah.
I think be kind to them, listen to them, help them in whichever way it's possible, especially if they're in need of some help, whether it's a financial or a physical. I think this is one of the things. In India, we have a lot of people who are dependent on us. They work for you in organizations, in the hospitals. And I think they need to be supported because I think that is a concern for others is a very important thing. Like we take care of ourselves, we must take care of our extended family, especially those who really are working for you.
No, very true. I don't think anywhere in the world can you be an island. You're really interconnected with so many people, and so many people are dependent on you in one way or the other. So certainly being aware and cognizant of that, certainly very powerful thought there. Thank you. And I think, would anybody else like to share? Even if it's something that's prompting from all of these sharings. It is a
Om
workshop.
Shanti.
Yes,
Om
please
Shanti.
go ahead.
I'm sorry first of all from the background.
No,
I mean,
please go ahead.
I think forgiveness is the most element key for our existence, because
true.
of without forgiveness we cannot maintain real love and the ultimate unconditional love. I think first of all we have to forgive ourselves, and then we have to, no matter what happens, we have to forgive others.
Very nice. Very
That's
true.
the ultimate thing, because otherwise everything will be like, doesn't make sense. All our effort is diminished if you really don't be honest with yourself about forgiveness.
Very true. Very, very true. Thank you for sharing. And I think with that, I will hand it to your sister to summarize, to give us our summary slides. Again, a lot of powerful ideas, and as always, you will receive that in your emails. So meditating daily, patience, attentive listening, courtesy, regard, empathy, good manners, giving time in a society which is always deprived of time these days. Attention, compassion, care, connecting to the vital force, again, goes back to meditation, good wishes, forgiveness, again, listening, connecting with others on the basis of virtues, meditating for the whole world, giving yourself time in the morning and being aware of yourself and the needs of yourself. Focus on time management and really treating everything as a service. To be kind and patient. Again, regular meditation, patience, kindness, thinking about colleagues and those who are dependent on us, so the interconnectedness of our existence, and again, forgiveness and unconditional love. So with that, I think I will hand it back to Manoj Bhai for the next portion of the workshop.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. We've crossed again the mark of 100. And actually, Sister Jenna is there in the background. So after the next 15 minutes of I sharing what Sister Jayanti had spoken, we will take the sharings from her. So let me just share the screen. And actually, Jayanti Didi's talk was quite simple about many things which she mentioned, which we have spoken about today. Let me just share this. And though they were very simple points, but they were coming from a yogi who has been practicing that since a long, long time. So it was highly effective. That's what I feel. So all of you have really spoken at length about caring for the self, the body. Didi also mentioned that in different ways. Caring for the soul, because we know that as the body needs food, the soul needs food in the form of spiritual knowledge. It needs water, which is love. In Hindi we call sneha ka pani. the water of love, to help you flourish and nourish the seed which you have sown. Exercise for the soul is definitely meditation, and rest is, Didi said, silencing the mind, because really we have lot of thoughts going on in our minds, and the day starts with, as spiritual learners or seekers, we start our day with Murli and many things, meditation, but as we sort of go into our daily routine, the daily chores, we start getting stressed. So we need to know a technique of how to silence the mind amidst all this, whatever is happening in the day with us. Early morning meditation helps, Didi said that, and it's very free, recharging your battery. Just 1 minute of silence every hour. And Didi really spoke a lot about this, about the traffic control. And I'm sure many of you now are aware of this practice at Brahma Kumaris which we have, that is traffic control of the mind, not the traffic control outside of the physical world. So as we have a lot of traffic jams outside, particularly with the monsoon in India, same thing, there's a lot of traffic jam of my thoughts inside, which rush and crash with each other and make me really feel very dejected. So what practice we do is we go into silence for a couple of minutes, and then at some hours, 5 or 6 times a day, we have this 3-minute traffic control song which helps us to re-energize, recharge ourselves. And same thing in the evening, we spend time not only with self. Again, we have this routine of evening meditation, which is 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., and also spending some quality time with family, not the time on screen which all of us are very used to nowadays, and go to sleep with that inner consciousness. So these were the things which Didi specifically mentioned. I'm sure the ones who have attended the talk, Didi was particularly stressing a lot about self-care. It's only when we are able to take care of the self that we can take care of others, as I think Harpreet's sister also was mentioning in between. Then we have this beautiful concept of check and change in Brahma Kumaris. It sounds again very simple, that oh yes, you need to check yourself and change. But my dear participants and all of you, it's not very easy to change ourselves, we know that. And at this point of time, a question came which will come later, but I think it's good to take it now, that I know I have to change myself. So the power of realization is there. But how do I translate this power of realization to power of transformation? Can I really transform myself? So Didi said lot of deep cleaning is needed, and we need to practice this, what we call purity. That my thought, word and action, are they in sync? Whatever I'm thinking, is that the what I'm speaking, and also in my actions it comes out. And again here Didi stressed a lot about traffic control, which again I remember in one of the questions asking her that in the traffic control song or a minute, the first 15-30 seconds is fine, I can concentrate, but the next half a minute or maybe next 2 minutes, again my mind wanders. I can't really concentrate beyond 30 seconds. So Didi said that's fine. As far as you're able to acknowledge, it's a practice. Just keep doing it more and more often. And every hour when we take that 1 minute silence, what are we supposed to do in that? So Didi said, look back and check what your consciousness was in the last hour. Was it really actions based on soul consciousness, what we call karam yogi, like while performing actions, am I soul conscious inside? And for this we need to check that am I regularly doing it, am I consistent in that, and constant attention on the self. I think this is the word which is very commonly used but very less practiced, I feel. Attention on the self. Then Didi mentioned about ways to care for others. That was our last action planning exercise. We wanted to explore that what things we can do for others. And actually sometimes, we feel, I have observed that for myself as well, I can speak from my experience, that when we become spiritual, the other people start feeling that you're not giving time to them. So Didi got this point out very well, that first important thing is making time for them. That's the most critical point. I mean, I'm not saying that you go and spend a lot of hours with them, but a few minutes of quality time, asking what they need, or maybe just sitting with them for a couple of, not hours, few minutes as well, which will really show that you take care of them, or you are even sort of concerned with for them. Just your presence and company is good enough. Then you need to share from your heart. Ask them what they need from you. And everything is coming not from a superficial level, it's from the within inside. And also, if not the talking, at least listen, compassionate listening. I remember we practiced this exercise in detail in one of our modules in Vihasa, the Values in Healthcare, a spiritual approach program which we do. So am I listening to them in what mode? Is it compassionate or it is just a casual mode? And sometimes take them where they want to go. You know, as old parents, I have parents who are old, so I mean, not after this talk, but before that also, I take them out somewhere where they really want to go, and that really helps. It takes away your little bit of time, but it helps definitely to make sure that they are feeling good about what you are doing for them. But Didi cautioned here about our mind, which is full of waste thoughts sometimes. And if I have this entire garbage inside me, I really can't take care of others because I need to tune myself. And tune is the next thing which Didi mentioned. It is essential to tune in with others to be able to understand what they need. And for that, I need to have a very stable mind. I like this what Didi said. There's a tribe in South Africa. They don't ask this question, how are you? Because they want to ask that only if you have the time to listen to the answer. Because usually if people just casually say, oh, I'm good, I'm all right, that's what we are routinely um, I mean, we listen to that quite often and we are used to those, that yes, I'm fine. But there are many people who are not really fine, just on the face they are telling you that they are not fine. So this tribe never asks this question, now how are you? And they say, if you have time, then yes, I can tell you what my problem is. Make time to care for yourself. Again and again, this burns down that you have to take care of yourself first. And we have a nice spiritual routine at Brahma Kumari, starting right from the morning till the evening. I think Sister Jenna will take that in details for us, so let me not go there. And this is Didi's quote: when you care for others, they will also care for you. And if they don't have the capacity to care at that time, someone else will be instrumental in caring for you. So, my dear friends, don't worry. Even if the person whom you are caring for in exchange is not able to take care of you, don't worry. The divine being will definitely take care of you through some of his other instruments. So, don't worry. There are many people who will start taking care of you because you are taking care of God's service. That's what I feel. Okay, a few questions. We have 5 more minutes. The first question was, how do we differentiate that am I really being very overindulgent in my care, in my self-care? So here comes the importance of spiritual wisdom. I need to draw my limits, draw a line. Particularly Didi mentioned a lot about sleep because some yogis also feel, oh, I get less sleep, and they try to define it according to the standards of science, that 7 to 8 hours. But Didi said, no, that is like overindulgence. For a yogi, the sleep should be minimal. And Didi was trying to say 5 hours because I asked Didi that she travels so much. That's the next question. That how does she take care of herself physically? Because obviously, as yogis, emotional, spiritual care are taken care of very well. So for the physical aspect, she said 5 hours of sleep are good enough for her. She doesn't get time to walk, so she makes sure that she sort of compensates in some other ways. So instead of using the elevator, just take the stairs. And Sister Jayanti actually has a good physical health, all of us know that. And a very simple diet. I know when she was here in Hyderabad in Shanti Sarovar, I mean, the diet which she follows is amazing. It's only more of salads and not carbs at all, like no sugar in anything. And very simple, no fried stuff, which she also mentioned. So yes, we need to really take care of our physical body, which in turn will help us take care of our mental and emotional health as well. The next question was, a person was asking that when I take care of people, I sometimes go overboard, and that's my weakness, and that makes me feel disturbed. So Didi said that don't overstep your limits and remember God, because you are not doing anything for those. It's God's help or God's energy which is helping you to do that. So never put it onto you, I am doing, so that when you remove the I factor, you nullify it, so it becomes sort of a little bit easier on you. A doctor was asking, how do I take care of my patients efficiently? So if it's a doctor who's meditating regularly, he has a stable state of mind, and being silent inside is a big boon which meditation can give you, and it will help you to listen in a proper way, listen with an open heart, with a stable mind, and then I think that energy the patient will feel and they will start healing. How does one concentrate while meditating? Didi said just practice and practice, nothing else. And as I told you before, that how can I translate this power of realization into power of transformation? We already took that. So Didi said that the very fact that you are thinking about transformation, it shows that you have already started changing, because not many people in the world out there really feel that they need to change. But if someone is really feeling that yes, I need to change, you have already started changing, because your thoughts have started moving in that direction. The next one was, I get irritated quite a bit and sometimes I know that this irritation is basically a self-prophecy. I am just entangled in this. Someone not listening to me, I get frustrated, more irritated, and I try to give them more and more advice. I remember the last question, as you can see on this page. How can I convince people of what am I thinking, what I am thinking? Didi said, just forget it. You can't convince people at all. They will do the way they want them to do. So don't get irritated or frustrated. Again, go back to your inner core, your peaceful being what you are, and take care of yourself. Then there was a question about, as you know, your entire Europe is blazing with lot of heat, and also the energy crisis, oil, gas, everything has become expensive due to inflation. So whether it is eat or heat, so Didi said, whatever is your basic need, give that to your body. Okay, so I think my time is up now. I will just stop sharing the screen here. And yes, we have on our screen Sister Jenna all the way from Washington DC. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. Yeah, and before I give it to you, I have to introduce you because there are a few new participants as well. So all of you know Sister Jenna. If you go on, I'll just share that screen. She is one of the persons who really we admire for the americameditating.org. Let me just share that screen for you all and show you so much of achievements which she has been doing in that field. I can't seem to, yeah, here it is. I don't know, it just has disappeared.
Because you don't need it.
Okay. Right, it's perfect. Okay,
Care for
perfect.
yourself. Care for yourself. Don't go through all of that stress.
Okay, fine. So I'll just say that Sister Jenna has been into this for many, many years now, and a very influential person in the US. And her name features in many magazines, the Eden magazine, the Owl magazine, and she's also one of the 115 powerful women in meditation. And she also has given a lot of talks, and she really conducts these talks for all those VIPs from different parts of the world. Those talks are really worth listening to, the way she deals with all those people. And let me just, in the form of a poem, take a few more minutes and then over to you. So today we have a very special guest joining from Washington, who has achieved in her spiritual life blessings like a ton. She tells us, don't worry my dear, live in life with lots of fun. There's no need to be behind materialism, which is indeed a mad run. We have all been there many times and have done a lot and a lot to be done. So let's now look up to the divine knowledge of the Supreme Sun, S-U-N, Sun, and now ourselves fully and freshly keep baked like a bun, a newly freshly baked bun. And finally, a few lines on care, that in these testing times, let's take care of each other. Let's not get upset and fight with one another, because on a soul level, we are each one's brother. And let not the turmoil outside make my inside bother, because under God's canopy, I feel light as a feather, and I know it's the divine who is indeed my Supreme Father. So with this, I would now request Sister Jenna, it's all yours now, and you can let me know if you have anything like as a Q&A format. All yours. Thank you.
Thank you. You are so poetic. You're such a talent on so many levels. And it's interesting the amount of care you put into each of these programs, unlike some of us who get so addicted to doing events after events that we just show up sometimes without the care in the small details. And I love that you do that. Dr. Ashok Baiji, Om Shanti. Was good to hear you share and so honored to be in your space, my sweet brother. And as I was listening to some of the sharings by Jayanti Didi, I kind of felt like there really wasn't a need for me to speak, to be honest with you, Manoj. And Shruti Ben, I mean, she did such a great job in just expressing such details. But thank you. And Om Shanti to everyone out there in cyberspace and in Zoom space, because you know, when we take the time to listen to programs like this, there is an element of care there to choose to listen to something that I think will help me to just feel more at peace with myself, to be able to develop the attitude and the ability to know what's good for the soul, the body, relationships, the environment. And I want us to look at that soul, body, relationships, and environment. And before we go into those 4 key areas, which I want to share with you, my personal experience and my experience dealing with my mother who's staying with me in the ashram, who has dementia now, and how much I'm learning, I would like to invite us to just maybe take a moment of reflection and silence and going over some of the thoughts that have been shared with us already. Just take a deep breath in and hold it for a moment and then breathe it out as if you're letting go a lot of tension and pressure and an uncertainty and even desires that you might have inside of yourself. Just hold a moment. When we meditate, we focus on the energy behind our 2 eyes. Imagine there's an infinite, immortal, imperishable, pure, powerful energy behind my 2 eyes. That's me. And that's you. And that's 7.5 billion of us. If we're willing to care enough to sustain it and to keep the flame of our inner light alive. Just take another deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in again. And breathe out. And remind yourself, I, the soul, am immortal, eternal, infinite, pure, and peaceful. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay there just for a few moments. With your eyes gently opened, send your pure wishes and pure vibrations to all the souls in this space with you. Wishing them from your mind to be blessed, wishing their lives to be benefited, and observe how you, the soul, feel wishing somebody well. All the things that we've been hearing on this session today, they're all things to nurture the soul. And that's what we just did. It's so subtle. Sometimes the less we push in and force ourselves to feel at peace with ourselves, or to, I don't know, have others even feel good around us, just requires you to just pause for a little. Believe in things that maybe you don't necessarily need to see with your two eyes, but with your third eye of the soul. There's such a vast world there. Your entire journey is recorded behind your eyes, inside of you, the Atma, the soul. And when you understand, or at least know that, or you are aware of it, you're on the first and the most maybe step that you can take. You're actually stepping into the most important part of your self-care. The world behind your eyes is filled with so many mystical, profound truths. And the world with your two eyes can deceive you and distract you and make you care less about taking care of your beautiful inner being, the Atma, the soul. So when we come together about a conversation on care, the first and foremost important thing is to care for the soul. And the question is, do you care for what thoughts you put into the soul? And what feelings you put into the soul as a result of those thoughts? How do you spend your day? Let's say we're awake for 20 hours or 18, 19 hours a day. How do you spend your day in terms of your thoughts, the words you speak, and why, and the choices you make? Is it a soul who has the care and the understanding that each thought I have determines either if I'm caring for my innermost self or not? Daddy Janki used to always tell us, use every second in a worthwhile way. That has stayed in me as such a mantra, and for anyone who knows me, they know I don't like to waste time. So you will not see me gossiping. You will not see me trying to strategize how to put someone down or to compete with them. I just don't have time. Use your every second in a worthwhile way. If I feel like physically I can't go out to change the world, I can definitely emotionally and spiritually change my feelings, my thoughts. One more time. Go behind your eyes. Recognize that your infinite, immortal, imperishable being of light is now awakening. And you've accepted that your state of awareness and consciousness is pure, peaceful, and powerful at this moment. And for everyone in the space, even your friends and family in your homes, please give them your blessings. Your good wishes, your pure feelings. Observe how you're feeling right now. When you can develop the ability to recognize that feeling in you now, then you will use that method. Find methods that can keep stimulating that energy in you. That's caring for soul. That's caring for the Atma, which is the source of everything in the world. The reason why there's so much violence and war and fear and struggles and illness and disappointment and poverty is because everyone has stopped. Everyone is stopping the care of their most valuable asset, Atma, the being, the Ruh, the spirit, the Alma, the soul, the energy. And just in 5-7 minutes, you found a surefire way to take care of yourself. It's that easy. And the only reason why we don't do it is the influences of the consciousness of being so humanly motivated. I think based on the color of my skin, my features, the watch that I wear, the jewelry that I own, the designer clothes that I put on, I define who I am by the language I speak, the country I belong to, the title, the job, the family, the caste, the religion. And because energy has reached such a complicated state of definition, even if I'm white or black or Chinese or Indian with good character, the first thing somebody will see is the color of my skin or my shape of my face. And they will immediately begin to stereotype something about me that they've heard historically, that everybody who looks white and everybody who looks black is like this. No, it's not true. And so things are breaking down. And so physically, if most of our thinking and feelings are motivated by the attachment of a physical identity and understanding of our physical existence, we're hurting the soul because the soul is so vast. And I'm trying to define the soul by just being a black person. I'm fair-skinned, so I'm going to be accepted. I'm white, Chinese, Spanish, African. Every day you look in the mirror, you see that person, but is that really your entirety? Is this the way you want to take care and sustain yourself? It won't be. So once the soul is in the body, it is simply playing out an expression of whatever you want that soul to be. And a soul who has cared for itself will care for others. It's the law of the universe. So the second aspect of the physical well-being, when I care for myself, I'm going to be very honest. I want to have more strength in this area. And I'll tell you why I know that I need to do it is in my spiritual tradition of the Brahma Kumaris, I focused so much on being the soul and a child of God and a server for God to reveal the fact that the energy of God is definitely here. And the reason why I know the energy of God is here, I am seeing it in so many of his children. I'm meeting many of God's creation that exudes from their being a sense of purity, a peacefulness about them, a lovingness, a generosity, a wisdom, a kindness, a gentleness, a tenderness, but a strength about them. And whenever I meet those folks, I go, there's Baba. I can see Baba in that child. He's here. And the fact that I've met so many of his children like that, I'm convinced God has descended. There's no doubt in my mind. And I actually look forward to bumping into another child of God that has accessed that relationship and that connection. And I've watched the way that they take care of themselves by having pure vegetarianism, maintaining good relationships, being honest with earning and spending money, keeping their minds very positive. And as much as I do that for myself, I also see where I have weakness. Fried foods, Sister Jayanti doesn't have any. I love pakora. I don't know why I can't stop eating pakoras. Dr. Mehta, you're going to have to help me to stop having so much pakora. And then there are certain foods that still attract me, like the Kumaris, the sisters here will make some really nice pies and cakes, and one slice should be enough. But then I taste it, it tastes good. My consciousness knows one is enough. But then I close it and the soul stops caring and it says, could I have another slice? Just one more. And I know when I'm doing that, it's not doing good to my body. I don't do it all the time, but I'm just letting you know honestly that there are times I forget to care for my body. And that's okay. But go back and do something good for it. Drink a lot of water. Go walking, go exercising. What I've learned is that there's a particular area in the soul where, let's say you can be very neat in your room and you can feed and take care of your family very well, but when it comes on to you, you don't do it so well. There's a little area of some factor in you that you haven't understood yet, but you will one day, that doesn't care for an area that is important to you. So sometimes it happens, but if it does, I invite you to just have this conversation and go, why would you want 2 more slices? You don't need pakoras today again. What do you need, Jen? You can live without this. If you were put in a cage with only bread and water, you would survive, wouldn't you? So then you're eating because of emotions, because of desires. So now you understand what I'm trying to say, is that when you are aware of even when you're not physically taking care of yourself, it is important for you to establish a relationship with yourself, a conversation to get you on the right track. So yes, food, sleep, water, exercise, all important for your physical well-being. The way you dress, the way you comb your hair, the way you brush your teeth, the way you choose to look at things through your eyes. Not to look at things from a perspective of what's wrong with this person or what's right. No, just to look with a benevolent attitude is a means of actually serving your physical well-being. To speak peacefully and with kindness and love is a means of taking care of your physical well-being. To choose to listen, to something that elevates you, inspires you, makes you happy, is a means of taking care of your physical well-being. To walk on the earth, that when you get out of your bed and your feet touch the earth, you can say thank you for being there. Give it respect and honor. Put your feet softly. Get off the bed and walk softly on the earth. This is taking care of your physical well-being because it's all karmic. It leads into the way we deal with our relationships, the third factor. Relationships are everything. And I look at them like a stairway. The same relationships can take you up, and the same relationship, if you look at it, it can also kind of pull you down, you know? I think people who are in relationships and couples and marriages, you know what I mean? It can have a lot of roller coaster emotions. But they're so beautiful when they work, aren't they? And if you look at one of the reasons why we might say relationships are the most trying things, the most challenging things, every relationship that has ever been difficult for you is because you just didn't have the capacity to care enough. They could be wrong, they could be even violent, they could be lying, they could be cheating, they could be not knowing at all what you need to make this relationship better. They could be totally out there. They just don't know what's in your heart. And yet you, if you've cared for the soul, and if you've cared for your physical body, then even if they are not on best behavior, you still have the capacity in you to give that care that you have for yourself, which they inherit. It becomes an extension of who you are. The art is to not buy into their carelessness for themselves, where it starts to impact you, where you stop caring for you. So in these relationships require us to give more love, respect, and space. Sometimes you're too much in each other's faces and you don't have any time to grow as individuals and to build your strengths. So instead of looking at each other's strengths, because neither person are caring for themselves, there's conflict. And whenever you're in conflict with a human being, whether it's through thoughts, words, or even action, it's a sign. People who care less for themselves will care less for others. People who care for themselves will care for others. So you've got two people living in a home and they're fighting all the time. It's a sign they're caring less for themselves. So if we can practice the art of caring first from the soul level and then physically looking out for yourself, then you realize an extension of that is I'm going to bring the best of myself in these relationships. There's some people you just won't get along with. Your energy just aren't aligned. You know, one's from Venus, the other one's from Mars. But the moment I see that and I find it as a defect or a problem in them, it has just entered my consciousness and now I've stopped caring. Enough to protect my field. Because the fourth important factor is the environment that is created as a result of my attitude. Your home, your office, your car space is creating an aura, a vibration based on the quiet thoughts that you're thinking on a regular basis, or just your attitude. You could be in a rickshaw, a car, and it's just driving and you're looking at the people next to you in the car. What are you thinking? Maybe you had an argument with a spouse before you went to work, and you're in the car and the driver's driving, and even the driver can feel your frustration. It's just in the environment. So imagine if 50 cars, 50 individuals left the home angry. It's in the vibration. Then you get high temperature heat waves. And then for some reason, people are blowing their horns and everyone's just frustrated, and that vibration is spreading. Because people who care less for themselves will care less for others. Why this conversation is so important is that every one of you that's online, you know that. And in the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris, the first and foremost care is to consider yourself to be a soul, is to know your spirit. Is to know that that immortal, imperishable, pure, and powerful energy that quietly resides behind your eyes is in charge for everything. Your health, relationships, your environment, even the way you earn and spend your money, it is coming from your soul. If you can interpret money as an energy, then if you purify your energy, money will naturally find you. But if you're scared because you don't think you will ever have enough, or you look at the Joneses and the Joneses just bought a new Range Rover, or they have a new sari, or they seem to have a new diamond, or they're going to such and such of a party or a program, and you feel your worth is to match them, then you make corrupt decisions. And whenever you make a corrupt choice, you care less for the soul, and a soul who cares less for the self will care less for the consequences of others. So if you shortchange your greatest capacity and your greatest power, which is to be soul aware and soul conscious, and to believe in the power of the purity of your spirit, of your soul, and that the more you take care of the soul and develop a very intimate, deep relationship with God, Allah, Jehovah, Krishna, Bhagwan, Khuda, Brahma, whatever it is that you won't feel comfortable with calling God, God, that each time your soul remembers God, the supreme being, which can be in any name that comforts your geography, your language, or your karmic energy, every pure desire will be fulfilled. Every pure desire. That means you no longer have to be corrupted. You don't have to feel insecure or feel greater because the Joneses have a new car, a new diamond ring, or whatever. It won't matter. Your spirit is so rich, you will always have enough. Always. It requires consistency, yes. It requires faith, yes. It requires determination, yes. But think of the benefit. You're going to leave behind a legacy for a generation to have power. You will leave behind a generation for your kids to believe in truth, in principle, in value, in virtue, in integrity. That means when you take your last breath, you know you would have contributed to a better society. Because you never became corrupted, because you cared less for yourself. These sessions are really vital. They hit us where they need to hit us, and they open us up where we need to be opened. This is no longer life just about you and the way you want to live in the world. This is about you and your contribution to the entire humanity, surviving people, you, they've cared so little about your emotional and spiritual and physical well-being for too long. And so what I've loved about being a part of the Brahma Kumaris for quite a few decades now, I am constantly being directed. Take care of your soul. Please, take care of the world behind your eyes. And when you take care of that energy behind your eyes, your body will be okay, your relationships will be okay, your environment will be okay, your money will be okay. And even if they break down, and I know mine does, my body breaks, I issues with this, issues with that, that doesn't make me give up. It just means I have to push a little more. That means I have more capacity to put more of spiritual love, spiritual value, spiritual wisdom, spiritual integrity into my spirit. That's all it says if for whatever reason it's not working right. This is our time. If we don't start caring for ourselves now, when will you begin? First and foremost, you are an immortal, eternal, imperishable energy. That means you have to decide how you want to think and feel regularly. You're responsible for your physical well-being, the relationships, the way the environment surrounds itself around you and in the world at large. As I mentioned, if you're angry, that spreads. So that means if you're peace, it's going to spread. If you're a loving and kind and generous person, everybody wants to be in your space. Because love makes the world go round. Sometimes we struggle with finding the right words about something so subtle and so normal to do. Can you imagine? We're supposed to be so advanced in the 21st century, and we need to have a program like this about how to care for ourselves, our loved ones. And I know it takes time. When we moved into our new space, and my mother, who was also a very good teacher in the Brahma Kumaris, she developed dementia. For the first 3 months, everyone, I don't know what happened to Sister Jenna, but she was not Sister Jenna. And I could blame it on the move, could blame it on my body, I can blame it on a lot of things that took too much from me. I could. But I had to go back to what I knew to be true. I'm immortal, eternal, imperishable. I am a pure soul. I am powerful. I'm loving. And this soul, my mother with dementia, I'm going to become a better person based on how well I take care of her. That's my assignment. And when I accepted the assignment, everything started to become easy. So I leave this in closing. Accept the assignment to take care of yourself, to take care of those around you because you take care of yourself. And knowing that by accepting the assignment that it's my turn, be so selfish, it's my turn to take care of me with my thoughts, with the words that I speak, the choices that I make. that this is my assignment. I accept it. And watch how everything goes smooth for you. Even if it gets difficult, it won't last long, because a soul who cares for itself would have attained enough power to overcome any challenge quickly. Challenges will come. They must come, because they will help you to dig deeper and to find more capacity and more power and love in you. If you didn't have challenges, you'd get so bored. But not only bored, you would lose all your attainment, because you won't feel there's a need to do much. So celebrate those tufans, so they become your tofa, and just continue to elevate yourself and elevate those around you. It's our time. So I don't know how much time I have, because I have to, I can go on and on, Manoj Bhai, but I just feel like I wanted to share these thoughts with everybody from my heart to yours. And this is the process that I've seen for me. And I've been there. I've been there where I didn't care for the soul. And I have seen what it did to my body, to the relationships, and to the environment. But thanks to the teachings of Raj Yoga, I would pivot myself back. Come on, get back to your truth. You can't go that far anyway. Get back. You know what's important here. And then you come back. And things just start to be nice again. All right, Dr. Manoj.
Right. Thank you so much. I think we had a few question and answers for you. Uh, as spiritual people, sometimes we feel we can't strike this balance. Either we really take care a lot of things about ourselves, or there is absolute neglect. So how do we strike this balance? Do you want to share
It's a great question, because I'm still working on that. And the way that I look at balance, for example, my friends, and I have a lot of them who, some of them are BKs and some of them are not. I have a lot of friends who are not BKs too. And they look at my life from outside in, folks, and they're like, oh God, you just do too much. You need to rest. You need to take it easy. And time again, I responded to them, I get it. I think you are right. But my balance formula spans a 5,000-year legacy of my soul's journey. So I need to do as much good karmas as I can, but from the right mindset. And I think where the balance comes, to whoever asks the question, is make sure whatever you're doing, you feel good doing it. It's like you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And somehow your why should somehow fulfill a value, a virtue, a purpose, a skill, a talent, a passion. Once in a while, there can be duties, and once in a while, it's because you need to do it. You do it, but it shouldn't be the only way. So for me, Dr. Manoj, and whoever asked the question, I say I look at my balance within that time period and I see, have I done enough? Have I been able to be enough? And I've always come up with no, not yet. Now, if you're getting 3-4 hours sleep a day, which I've been there, now I will tell you that's not good. At least try to capture 2 extra hours during the day. It's important. If you're eating way too many pakoras and sweets, that's not a good balance. Because for the 5,000-year cycle that I am consciously recorded in my consciousness, how much more sweets can this soul handle? I might need to reduce this. So I look at my balance, whoever asked the question, as a 5,000-year narrative to see how I can fix that in me. And then sometimes I just break it down practically, just to see if I can just get there, And as spiritual folks, I don't think we're any different than a lot of people in the world. I think there's more of a demand on our understanding of things. And I think as spiritual people, we are just supposed to be more in tuned with our shortcomings and our strengths, maybe more than an average person. But that means I shouldn't throw out the door that I still need proper rest. If you're a vegetarian, that's very, very good. So it helps you to save the environment from all the pollution with the animals and all the other things. But again, you know, you could be a vegetarian and still eat unhealthy. I'm proof of that in terms of my pakoras and sweets. But I would just ask myself the question to the questioner, what's the reason for my why here? And somehow I always find a balance if I can answer it honestly. And if my why is because I don't want to do this, why am I doing this? I don't want to do it. Then maybe don't at that moment. But still, you have to raise your vibrations to build your capacity. So sometimes if you don't like certain things, maybe just do it with the intent in your mind. Why do I not like it? Is it below me? Is it because people are looking at me? Is it because I see other people are doing something better than me? Then it's not the act that's bothering you, it's your motive. So if the motive and the intent are not straight for you, there is an imbalance. So soul, physical body, relationships, environments are not going to be served. So ask your why and answer it honestly. That's my answer, Manoj Bhai.
Thank you. Amazing. So look at my motive and my intention. What am I doing? Thank you. Amazing. And in the interest of time, I'll just take one last question. As all of you know, Sister Jenna spoke about Dadi Janki. I'm sure all of you know her very well. She was our past administrative head, and she has spent a lot of time in the West. I mean, she's the one who's instrumental for establishing so many centers, obviously with the Supreme being there behind all the time. But she's the one who's instrumental, and I'm sure Sister Jenna has taken a lot of sustenance from her. So do you want to specifically say a few points on how Dadi Janki has inspired you to take care, related to the value of care? How
Oh,
she took care of
definitely.
you. Yeah.
She was the emperor of care, and it was interesting. As much as Dadi Janki would speak and share gyan, she was always inside. She always had this connection with Supreme Being. And that's why she was able to give as much as she could. Dadi was the epitome of caring for herself. And even when she reached, what was Dadi, 103 when she left the body? Dadi was walking 30 minutes every morning or in the evening if she missed. She ate well. She never overate. She never underate. She just cared for herself. And that's real spirituality. And I aspire to emanate and develop those values the way that Daddy left such a legacy for many of us to follow. Sister Genti, who is the best one to share on all the experiences that she must have learned from Daddy. There must have been endless, spending so many decades with Daddy Janki. The amount of lessons Genti Didi had learned from Daddy is just priceless. So we've learned a lot from her legacy, and just like I shared, let it be that you leave a legacy for the next generation to inherit something, not to inherit an abundance, not to inherit a world that has nothing to offer them.
Thank you so much. So with this, I would like to request Dr. Ashok Mehta, who's already spoken to us before, and you've acknowledged him as well, Sister Jenna. So Dr. Mehta, for the vote of thanks. Yeah, over to you.
Jenna Ben has taken us to the basic, absolute basic. To take care of yourself, I think you have to look within yourself, look at your soul and your relationship, and through which you can take care of your body, your relationship, your environment, and whatever you want to take care of. I think you have taken us to the heights of meditative mind. We have to remain all the time connected with ourselves and with the Supreme. I think these two things are very basic that you elaborated so extensively that you can take care of everything if you can take care of these two things. Thank you, Jenna Ben, for your enlightening talk. Thank you very much. I think you have said so much that there's very little for me to tell except to say thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. And we have with us Sister Claudia as well. So I'll request her to please share a few words. Yeah, over to you.
Om Shanti, good morning from Vancouver and good evening for some of you, especially in India. But Sister Jenna is in Boston, so still probably morning or afternoon. I guess still morning. It was very nice to hear you talking about, and especially when we see, because as doctors, they take care of the patient, but sometimes they forget about their own body too. And the same way also the spirituality, sometimes we want to take care of others, but we forget about our own. So the magic form here that I find out is take care of yourself and then you can take care of others. If we really want to take care of others, we take care of ourselves first. That is for the body and also for the mind. Because sometimes I even heard about many times in some lectures that the doctors sometimes they pay so much attention, they tell things to others, with them themselves don't do it. So spirituality is the same way too. We have to, when we say something to others, we also have to practice. So it's very nice to hear you talk about this. Emphasize, take care of yourself, and then you can take care of others. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And yes, I would want to share the screen now and show all of you. That screen was there. I don't know how I missed it, so I'm so sorry. So if you all can see now that America Meditating, just go over there, visit about this and see what Sister Jenna has done. She was speaking about an angel called Sister Geeta, that is her Lokik mother. You can see, you can go on that and see what she has done. And this is Brother Santosh. I think he was there last time as well. I don't know whether he's there today as well with us here. Okay, so I would request all of you all to just visit the americameditating.org and enjoy. I will just
Dr.
now
Manoj, you forgot
Yeah.
you forgot to introduce little Happy, who's the mascot for. See, that's also care. I'll tell you, having an animal, whether it's a bird, a fish, a cat, a dog, I've heard that a lot of people are finding a great amount of comfort and clear. And that's our little mascot for America Meditating, Happy.
Thank you. I forgot the poor Happy
You forgot
one.
Happy.
Yes. Yeah. So before we go into the meditation mode with Sister Jenna, I'll just take a few more minutes and share the screen and do our announcements as always. And I think Anu sister, you can be ready for the photograph after this, so that then we can go into the meditation mode and exit in silence. Is that okay? Yeah. So continuing with our power series, the powers talk, we have the 7th power now, power to face. We call in Hindi Samna Karne Ki Shakti. That's happening tomorrow in the next 24 hours. And it's Sister Savita, all the way from Abu. And she's the national coordinator of the women's wing of our Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation. And continuing with our talks, we have Selflessness, Niswarta, next weekend by Brother Ken. You would be amazed that he underwent a heart surgery as well, a minor one though, but he was highly selfless enough to say, yes, no worries, it's already there on my list. I had told him quite a few months ago and he remembered that. So he'll be joining us for that. And again, followed by it, the workshop, as we have a very close ally of Sister Jenna, that is Sister Aruna. And let me just break the news here as well for all of you. We have our second birthday anniversary of the Values Workshop. We'll be celebrating it in last week of October. So we'll be having our dear brother Eric conversing with both of these stalwarts, Sister Aruna and Sister Jenna. So I'm sure you don't want to miss that. And as always, we do the silence retreat once a month, the last Sunday. for 2 hours. India time it's morning and West Coast time is evening. And this time it will be on selflessness. The theme would be that. And this is our elegant calendar which has been designed by Sister Kosha. So it's there on our groups, and we will be sending you all the materials as well. And I forgot to mention that the ones who have joined new, can you please share your emails and WhatsApp numbers so that we can send you all the review material, and all these whatever notes we have taken down in the form of PPTs will be shared with all of you by email. Okay, and I'll just stop sharing. And Anu sister, if you're ready with the photograph, we'll take it immediately and then we'll go in the meditation mode. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah.
Everyone, you can open your camera. Thank you, Sister Jenna. So bring that self-care, beautiful smiles. So once again, whoever have not opened their videos, you have few seconds. I got it. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, and we'll go into the meditation mode with Sister Jenna now. And shall I play some background music? Is that okay in the background?
I think it's okay. I think I can ask Santosh if he has co-host. Maybe he can play an Om Shanti song when I'm done with the meditation. Okay. So let's take a few moments together to just gather all the energy that we've just received. For each and every one of us in this space, it all hit us in a special way. A way that was only for us, our own property, something very private, very personal, but very advantageous. So take a deep breath in, breathe in, and exhale. Breathe in again, and exhale. Get comfortable with being in your own company behind your eyes. It's sort of like you feel all of your energy is focusing in the center of your forehead, and it's creating a kind of an energy inside of you. Just keep letting go of the tensions of the body and focus on the energy behind your eyes. Breathe in deeply and exhale. Focus on the energy behind your eyes, the soul. And accept I, the soul, am immortal, eternal, imperishable. I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. In this awareness, I can feel the energy of God, the ocean of peace, filling me up with more peace. A sacred peace, a divine peace, a peace that's pure. When I'm in this state of awareness, I'm in the ultimate form of care for the soul. The soul and God, connected, in peace is the ultimate form of care. Stay here for a while and get used to the soul being cared for. Om Shanti.
Could I know what's the name of Santosh to make him co-host? Play the song.
I think it's, oh, here it is. Om Shanti. Om Shanti is the universal language of peace. It is what? It is who every soul is. From the place of peace, I can live out my fullest expression of life. And with deep peace, there is nothing to obstruct my thoughts. I am able to yield to what is and remain conscious to what can be. In peace, I understand you. In peace, you understand me. It is at the center of it all.
Thank you, amazing, for your time and interaction. We look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you very soon.
Yeah, October.
October, yeah. Thank you.